Hi, welcome to Fatimata Speaks. Welcome to the weekly messages. So, this is the message for the second week of July. I hope things have been moving forward, progressing, and there's been, new beginnings and some drastic endings, or maybe not too drastic, but, some endings and new beginnings. And you guys are in a good place because the message for this week is, well, that depends which part of the journey you're in currently. But maybe by the end of the week, you guys will be at the end of this journey. And in that case, then I would say you need to be prepared. You need to be ready for what is to come because all eyes are going to be on you. Okay, so let's get into the message. So the image that I received, I'm going to tell you guys about the image first before I tell you guys about my interpretation, because I feel like this message is quite unique, so you have to apply it to your situation in particular. And in order to do that, you need to have the whole image so that you can see where you are on this journey and where you're heading and what you need to do. Okay, so the first image that I saw was of a shoe. It looked very comfortable, and it was a trainer and sneakers. And I don't remember the color of it, but I remember that it was on the right foot and that it had a memory sole, and it looked really comfortable and suitable for what came next. And that was the person began to run. They ran across the water, and then they came across something that looked like a mountain, but like a dwarf mountain. But the longer I stared at it, I realized it was more like a tree, like the storm tree. I hope that was the right pronunciation. And then they climbed up the tree. The tree was short, but they still had to climb. And then after climbing up the tree, they arrived at the top, and then they kind of just stopped and were looking around. And all of a sudden, they shoot up into the sky. Now, at this spot, I couldn't tell if the tree kind of just grew or if the person was kind of just shoot out completely. But I knew that they were up. They were racing. They were not racing. They were moving towards the sky. And then they reached the second landing, and then they got onto a bridge. Again, I couldn't see exactly how the bridge looked like, but I know that there was a bridge there, and then they crossed over. And then they enter into the forest. And there were a lot of trees, lot of greenery, and then they came across a tree trunk that was lying on the ground, and it was hollow. And hollow. It was hollow. Hollow. It's hollow, right? Hollow, or is it hollow? Why am I tripping? It was hollow. And then instead of going into the tree, they climb on top of the tree, and then they kind of just walk on it. And then they kind of vanish for a while, but then they resurface again. And this time, oh, I forgot to mention, while they were climbing the tree, the mountain, the stone tree, they had a backpack with them. And then now again, after they reappeared in the forest, I didn't see the backpack, but they were in silver, kind of disco dancing outfit. And then they had their hand kind of hooked around the tree, a branch of the tree, and they were kind of leaning on the tree. And after a while, they kind of the tree kind of shoot up again, and then they arrived on a different level. And this time it looked kind of in the clouds, proper in the clouds. And then they walk again across a body of water, and then they reached a pyramid for some reason, and the pyramid opened, and then they kind of pressed a button or touched it, and a massive wave was was sent out. And then I saw other people kind of below, not in the clouds with them, but down on earth. And these people, even the animals, I saw a dog in particular, they all felt that wave and they were all looking in the direction that it came from. So that was the image that I saw. I don't know how that's gonna like fit into your life, into your situation, but that's the image that I saw. So now let's talk about the interpretation that I felt while I was writing it down, okay? So the first interpretation that I felt from this message was that you're a generation curse breaker. What that means for you in what areas that applies to you, only you know that. But you're a generation curse breaker. You took on this role like many before you, but you're the one who's gonna go the distance. You're the one who's actually gonna break those those courses, those circles, and bring your family forward. Because once you finish this journey, whatever you're achieving, it's gonna influence you. It's gonna influence the people in your surroundings. It's gonna influence various type of people because like I saw people and even animals. So like whatever you're achieving, whatever you're awakening from this process, it's gonna infect, it's gonna influence people's life. And it might even influence those that come after you. So this is massive. You have taken up a massive journey, okay? A massive mission. And you're ready, you're equipped with what is needed for this, and you're going the distance. You're actually going the distance. You walk the path that some of those who came before you, also as generational curse breaker in their own way, you're walking the path that they have laid out. And so basically they kind of like built the foundation a little bit, and you're just adding more to it, you're stabilizing it. And by doing that, through your actions, your belief system, by actually addressing the issues that come up, or just things that come up, and changing the way you view the world, the way you view certain situation, people, the way you manage things is just different. And that is strengthening the foundation, and that is allowing you to go to the next level. So some of you might be in the process of this right now, but some of you might be already in the second level. You have elevated yourself from this, okay? So you're not just breaking circles anymore. You're not breaking courses anymore. You are actually on the level of making life work for you. I don't know if you guys get what I mean. Because like when you're building foundation, it's all about getting the foundation ready. It's more about surviving. But now on the second level, you're more about living, becoming different, becoming in a way more like you're remembering more. So you can't help but like reshape yourself in a way. And in this process of reshaping, of actually living life, you encounter people, opportunities, and sometimes let's just say not all that glitters is gold, okay? And you know that. You know who you are. You know what you want. You know your mission. You know the direction that you want your life to go. So when you bump into certain people, into certain opportunities, you do not like let yourself be swayed. Instead, you follow your path, but you are still willing to look at it and then evaluate and come to a conclusion if that fits into what you're trying to create. So you're not just taking whatever comes your way and be like, okay, you're not hungry for opportunities, because not everything, not everything has substance, Sometimes they just hollow. Oh my God. Hollow. They're just hollow, okay? Some things are just empty. It is what it is. They just look shiny on the outside, but they're actually empty. But you don't want emptiness. You want something that has substance to it, because you're trying to create, you're trying to build a life that impacts not only you positively, but also others. Your mission, you know what that is, and you know what you have to do to actually achieve it. And in the process of like encountering people and opportunities, you are planting new seeds. This is the reason why I keep saying, like, talk to people, okay? You never know who is sitting next to you. You never know how, when you meet them again, and in what position they will be in, and if they can help you or not, or if you can help them or not, and what might come out of this. I'm not saying to be transactional, but I'm saying that we are all a community. We all influence each other. So when you're talking to someone, or when you are meeting someone, or just in the presence of person, be kind. Make sure when you address or deal with people, be kind, be true, be authentic, and always speak out your truth, because only when people know what you're trying to build, I'm not telling you to tell everyone your business, no, but only when people know what you're trying to build, only then they can help you, and when you speak to the right people, the right people will help you. They will push you forward, because they'll be like, oh, I know this person who wants this, and connect you with the right person who is like looking for that particular thing that you have, or they are looking for something that, or the other way around. You're looking for something that they have, okay? So make sure you communicate. Make sure like you do not dismiss things just because. And you build from those things, and then that is gonna push you forward from the seeds that you're sowing. That's gonna bring you to the next level, and the next level is you're ascending. Okay, now the next level was like in the heavens. So some will say it's spiritual, but I don't think it's necessarily spiritual. It's just you are overcoming the earthly attachment in a way that you truly leaving behind the how do I word this? You're leaving behind the issues that were like chaining your family, that were chaining your generation, that was just holding your generation back. Okay, you are really like, you're so far away from it that they will never catch you. This is the reason why once you achieve this level, it's gonna influence the people around you, and it's gonna influence even the ones that come after you, because you are pulling your people from down below all the way up, and there's no way that in the next 1 to 7 generation that they will just they will just go down. They will not just descend again like that. They will remain up high, because you've done the work, you've laid the foundation, and from now on your family, your generation is going to continue building on healthy grounds. And yeah, so for the generation curse breaker, you are on this journey, and I just want you to know that there is an end to this journey, because eventually you stop healing. Okay. The thing is, we keep saying you have to heal, but eventually there's nothing left to heal, because you've done the work. And once you reach that point, you just move forward in life, because when there's nothing to heal, then you actually have time to create more. So if you are currently on the second level and you think that you have to heal more, but you're like, I don't see what's left to heal, then create. Just create from that point, and that will propel you forward, or it will show you what needs to be done. So just create and live life. Literally. Okay, so that was the first interpretation that came to mind after receiving this message. The second interpretation that came to mind was that you as a person, this is not necessarily a generation curse breaker, just a normal person. You as a person, you have found the direction of your life. You have found your life goal. You found your, the thing that you actually want to do. And you've not only found it, but you've actually tried to live it out. But your first attempt was not that successful because you were not ready for it. You either didn't have the right mindset, or you had certain belief systems that were working against you, so you self-sabotage certain growth, or you didn't have the right skills, the practical skills needed to actually make this thing work. So you had to take a step back. But now you're ready. You took a step back. You work on yourself and you learn whatever needed to be learned. You improve whatever needed to be improved. And you maybe got even in the right groups with the right people, made connection, and now you are ready to try it again. First of all, thank you for giving it another try, because many people, they just give up after, failing once. But, falling and getting up again, that's the strength. That is the literal strength that helps you, achieve things in life, because not everybody succeeds on the first trial. No. On the first try, not everyone can succeed. Some people need a second, a third. Some people even need a 200 trial to actually get things moving. And for those people who need a little bit more than just one, thank you for always getting yourself up again and giving it a try, because this is what happens when you get up again. When you try but fall down, you learn from the experience. You learn from the failure. I don't like that word, failure. But you learn from that experience, and then if you let that experience teach you, whatever it teaches you, you can work on it and then integrate that and then give it another try. And by doing that, you move forward. So that's exactly what this person did. That's how I interpret it, okay? You learn from your first trial, or maybe it was your second trial or third. You've learned from your failures. And now you truly prepared. That's why you got your backpack. You're prepared and you're ready to take it on again. And this time you're walking fast. I don't know if I mentioned it, but like when the person was like running across the river, the water, and then climbing up this stump tree, they were moving fast. So this is happening fast because you already have the experience. You know what's coming, what's on the way. And you're going to move fast because you are prepared. And then once you reach the top of that stump tree, you're going to realize that all those failures have actually been building your foundation. And by you reaching this level again, by giving it another try, you have allowed yourself to actually and finally move forward. The last couple of weeks, we have been receiving readings that a chapter is ending, you're at the precipice of change, and literally the change is this. You're moving forward. Your foundation is ready to hold you. Your foundation is ready to hold more. And you are light enough because you have dropped your baggages. That you don't have to take on the things that are not yours. If it's not yours, don't take it. If it's not yours, don't take it, okay? You've learned to deal with things. You've learned to how do you say it? You've learned a little bit of time management, but also you've learned about yourself, how you operate as a person, because that's something we have to learn. For example, I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to take myself as an example. So my whole life, well, not my whole life, let's say from like 0 to like 25, 26. Yeah. I thought I had always have to work hard, and that's it. And then you will succeed eventually. I thought I was the person that just work hard and that's the way I become productive. I've learned that that's not the actual case for me. What I need as a person is, first of all, a good night's sleep. And that doesn't mean 10 hours of sleep. No, sometimes I only have 4 or 5 hours of sleep and it scares me. But I found out that I can still make it work as long as I do not use an alarm to wake up. So basically, my body sleeps until it tells me that this is enough, get up, we're ready to go. That's it. But that's something I had to learn. That's something I had to learn because I thought I always need to be on a schedule. But I've learned that actually when I let my body wake up when it wants to wake up, I get things done quickly. And I have time at the end of the day to do whatever I want to do. Also that I am the type of person that once I'm up, and I can get to things immediately. I do not need like, some people they need like a coffee to, to get started, or they're like, no, I need breakfast and all that. No, I do not need all of that. I just need to drink a glass of water and then I can sit my bottom down and get to work. And by doing that, I've realized that not only do I get things done like quickly, I am still like awake. Because before I used to be like tired by midday. I'm like, bed, I want to sleep. I always was like thinking about sleeping. And sleep was like my incentives, like, oh, if I do this and this and this, I'll be able to sleep. But now I'm like, when I'm ready to sleep, I will sleep. I allow myself to do that. It's not always possible because sometimes I have to go to work and all, but I try to have more days in which it's possible than have less days than have more days than it's not possible. Okay. So I try to do that, and thanks to my current schedule, it actually works. So you need to figure out as a human being how you work and what actually motivates you to get things done. I hope that example was like a good example to show you guys what I meant. Anyway, so you have learned about that, and that's why you can move forward. You have done the work, and now you're light enough that you can actually go out into the world and take up space without you trying to hide yourself. That's also another thing, right? Sometimes we love to hide ourselves, but we do not need to hide ourselves for this. We're ready for whatever is coming. And after moving forward, you're like on this new stage and things are happening. Positive, rewarding things are happening. Do not get lost in this process, okay? Do not get lost, meaning do not let yourself be distracted by empty wins, because you're not actually not going to let yourself be distracted by it, because you know who you are and what you want in life and what constitutes to that goal and what is just pure distraction. You know that. And because you know that, you apply that. You know it and you apply it. Because sometimes knowing and applying are like two different things for people. But you know it and you apply it. And that is helping you create a stronger foundation, but also it's helping you sow new seeds. But also it's helping you sow new seeds, and those seeds that you're planting right now, which for some people it means you're actually doing stuff here and there, one of them is gonna give you the next push. It's gonna give you the next push. One of them is going to be the thing that give you the next push to bring you to the next level. So keep doing your thing. And I know sometimes there's no instant gratification in there, and you think that, oh my God, nothing is working because you don't see the movement. But believe me, there is movement there. It takes a while for a tree to grow. First, it has to grow down into the ground, and before it goes up. So allow yourself time, allow yourself space to grow, and allow yourself space to create constantly. If that's what your excitement is calling you towards, go towards it. Follow your highest excitement. That's what Bashar said. And he's right. Follow your highest excitement, okay? Because that is bringing you into the next level. And whatever you're creating, it's going to impact the world in a positive way. And first of all, you're going to be proud of yourself, okay? Because this whole thing must have been going on for years now. Maybe for some of you, lucky ones, for only weeks and months. But for some, the majority, I believe this has been going on for years now. And to reach the end, there's no end properly, but like to reach a level where you can actually see the impact that you have created by just choosing yourself, by just finding your direction and actually taking action towards it. Just from saying that, that's going to fulfill you in ways that you've never been fulfilled before. It's not about the results. I'm going to say again, it's not about the result, but sometimes we do need a result in order for us to, be able to create the next thing. So I believe the image that I saw for this week is it's just the universe, the divine way of telling you that you're working towards something that is sustainable, that's something that is impactful. It's not easy. And sometimes we want to give up, but don't give up, because you're actually doing something. Even when it doesn't feel like you're doing something, you're actually doing something. And I believe that this collective, or whoever this applies to, you're no longer at the precipice of change. You are about to experience what that change actually feels like. So, yeah, the universe is trying to tell you that you're about to experience what that change look like, the change that you have been creating, but also that you're no longer just at the precipice of anything. You have crossed over, or you're getting prepared to cross over. Or for some of you, you're already experiencing the change. Ooh, for those of you who are already experiencing the change, congratulations. Congratulations to you all. Doesn't matter which part of the journey you're on right now. Whatever you are, believe me, you're doing good. You're doing well. You're doing well. You're doing fabulous. But yeah, so maybe some of you are reaching that result by the end of the week. Some of you might be starting the week with that result. In that case, just enjoy it. Just enjoy the moment. Don't try to create the next thing. Just enjoy the moment for right now. And maybe some of you are on the precipice of experiencing that. Or maybe some of you are on the second level, planting the seeds and ignoring the distractions. Or maybe some of you are on the first level, seeing that your past attempts we're actually, laying the foundation of what's to come next. Or maybe some of you have just found your direction and you're about to take off. And the universe wants you to know that you have the right shoe on. Maybe that literally means you have the right shoe on. You have the right path. You found the right path. Wow, my brain. Give me a minute. Again. So literally you might be getting the right shoe. And that could influence your life. But it could also mean that you have found the right path, in life, and now you're actually taking the step towards what comes next. Whatever the case is, know that this journey, it's not a fruitless journey. It's one that needs to be taken. And it needs to be taken by you. I know sometimes we experience life and we think that, I don't matter, or who am I to think anything big, or to think that I can actually make an impact. But you can. Every single one of us is capable of making an impact. Every single one of us is here for a reason. And never talk small of yourself, because the universe didn't make a mistake when they created you. Okay, you came here with a mission. You came here with a game plan, and as long as you allow yourself to actually live out that game plan, life is gonna be what it is. But you, at the end of the day, you're gonna know that you're gonna reach a point where you'll be like, "Damn, I gave it my all," and more than that, no one can expect from you. Some of us are overachievers, of course. We do more than expected. But some of us are not overachievers, and it's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But don't think of yourself as ordinary, because there's nothing ordinary about you. You walk in the streets, you're influencing people, maybe just a person. And sometimes that's your goal, to influence just a person. And that's all right. Like I said, I think it was like 2 or 3 readings ago. You're meeting your audience, you're finding your audience, and some of us have large audience, but some of us just have a handful, and the size of the audience doesn't matter, because the impact is going to be the same. Doesn't matter. So thank you for allowing yourself to go on this journey. Thank you for holding on the whole way and not giving up, and congratulations for achieving it. You're doing more than just fine. Know that. Okay? So that was the reading. This was a little bit different from the usual one. I hope you guys will you guys stuck around to actually watch it until the end. And yeah. Oh, okay. I need your help, okay? I said this in the last week's video that I'm currently doing a life coaching apprenticeship. House below apprenticeship, right? Yeah. I'm currently doing that, and my exam is gonna be like, I don't know, in 2 weeks or so, and I need to practice. I practiced a little bit, but I couldn't practice intensively in the last couple of weeks and months, because basically I was busy with my bachelor thesis. So girl was busy. So now I'm free of my bachelor thesis. I have time, not much, but I have time to actually practice. So I would really love it if you guys will send me an email. The email address is in the caption. If you want to work on, establishing a relationship with your inner child, or, experience some transform, wow, I can't speak anymore. Transformational changes, such as, changing your mindset, your self-image and stuff, then send me an email. I will really welcome that, because I really do need to practice, and I really want to pass. I really want to pass that exam. So I look forward to your emails, and thank you guys for sticking with me till the end. See you guys next week. Bye.